Okay, I really want to get back home because I went to the store to get dog food, I got milk, and I got soda. That's the 3 things I got, and a soda for me because I want some fucking soda. And shoot, I cannot remember what I wanted to talk to on YouTube. What is wrong with me? Oh, maybe I wanted. Oh yeah, I know what it was now. I wanted to talk about yesterday. This is a minor thing, kind of. I mean, it's not minor, but it's fucking crazy. But you know, okay. Now you can kind of see how stupid I am because this is crazy stupid. Or maybe I won't even post this, but this is for me because I don't know, because like. Yeah, I don't want to embarrass myself by letting you see how petty I can be. Okay, let's put it that way. YouTube, you can't see how petty I am. But my mother-in-law, who's in the hospital, right? And oh my God, it was it was pretty scary when we found out she was in the hospital because they told us she was on life support. Which basically means she's got a breathing tube down her throat. But when you hear life support, you think someone, end of it. That's it. She could die. Which she could have died probably, but luckily. It wasn't that serious, like, you know what I mean? Like, she's recovering super fast, which is great. But she does have congested heart failure. She does have kidney issues. She does have other issues. So she's got a lot of issues, no joke. And so, it is serious. Like, literally when she comes out of the hospital, we're gonna have to start making sure that she's okay more. Like, like everyone's gonna need to be on top of her especially if she's living on her own, because like I said, if she had not called the hospital, she would have died. Okay, now I didn't realize this about Tramadol, but apparently it restricts your breathing, which is really scary. A pill that restricts your breathing and makes you not breathe that well. So oh my God, no wonder that shit's serious. It's not just about being addicted to a drug, it is something like that. But okay, this is what ended up happening. I was like messaging one of the girls I knew was there, and to see how my mother-in-law was doing, and she said, "Oh, I'm not there anymore. Carly and Darren are." And I was like, "What? My husband? He didn't even bother to tell me that he was going to the hospital?" I was kind of pissed. Like, are you kidding me? Because like I said, he just assumed one thing and I assumed another, because I did say I was going to go to work, right? So he thought that I would just go to work and then swing by the hospital. But I thought that he was going to do his thing and come back for me and we'd go together, okay? This is it. We were both assuming something. This is what happens. And still, like I said, it would have been nice that if he had told me that he was going to the hospital. I had to hear it from somebody else that my husband is at the hospital. Like, I was like, he couldn't even send a damn text to let me know that he was going to the hospital. Like, oh, I decided to just stop at the hospital for a little bit. You know what I mean? I felt like I said, we're supposed to be a team. This is what I'm talking about. You don't even tell me that you went to the hospital. I had to find something. So I didn't say that. I was like, I forget what I wrote, but I was like, I was pissed. I said something, and then I was like, like, fuck you, and then I wouldn't answer his calls at all. I was like done. I was so done. I was literally, I turned on my damn location. I was fixing to close down my fucking Facebook account, my Instagram account, so nobody could see it at all. I couldn't figure out how to fucking do that, you know what I mean? I could log out, but I was like, logging out, it's not getting rid of it. It's just fucking, not on my Facebook. So I was like, because I remember before you could totally kick yourself out of it for a little bit. People will do that. I'm getting off Facebook. I'll be back eventually, right? Like whatever. That's what I wanted to do, so nobody could see your page. Like, it just didn't exist anymore. That's what I wanted, right? I was that mad. I was like, fuck him. I'll go see his mother when he's not around. I don't want to have anything to do with him any fucking more. That's how pissed I was, okay? That is how literally pissed I was. And I know, I even wrote, I know I shouldn't be a bitch when your mom's in this condition. And it's true. Like, that is such a petty thing to be pissed about, right? Like, how dare you not tell me you went to the hospital, right? But to me, it was like, you know what I mean? It's the communication problem that I'm talking about having. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's part of our problem, right? So, anyway, he called like a million times. He started texting 211. He's like, why'd you answer? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, fuck. Fuck. I wasn't. So I just turned off my sound and it kept working, right? And then I guess he got smart, because he kept calling me because he figured that way I wouldn't, because he didn't want me looking at his location because he was going to the house. and stuff, right? And he got there, he called on Aiden's phone, and I was like, I didn't know it. I was like, okay, Aiden, hold on, because I wanted to tell him that James's thing had come in, right? Anyway, I was gonna call him anyway to tell him that James's box had come in, and but I couldn't hear because he was on the regular phone. I didn't want to put him on speaker, right? So then I finished doing my Target thing, and then I got outside, and then I heard my husband's voice. It took me a minute to realize it was him, right? Like, what the, you know? And yeah, so he got there and called me on Aiden's phone because he knew that I would answer Aiden, you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, you know. And he was right, I would. He's like, he was pissed. He was like, kind of, I was like, well, I told you not to worry about, I told you just take care of your mother. I was like, you know, he was like, he was never gonna just let me, you know, like this, you know, because that's how he is. Which, I mean, I guess that's a good thing. That's what I'm saying. I know it's stupid. I know it was petty, but you imagine he cared enough that he was worried enough about me, like, what, maybe leaving, doing something, because that's the only thing that he could have thought, is that I was gonna, what, leave him over this, you know? No, I probably would have, like, said, completely cut his, he would have been back to, I am not talking to you, I hate your fucking guts, kind of thing. Are likely, you know what I mean? But, I mean, I don't know, which I guess eventually would have left to, I'm leaving your ass, because this is, you know what, you know, not a team effort here, right? And, but, but like I said, we did talk it out, and then I was like, okay, you know, but I did tell him, I said, you didn't need to. You could have just waited till later, you know, stayed with your mother, and then whatever. And then, you know, just dealt with me later, because, you know, I was like, no, you know, should know that I wasn't going to leave. I was just really pissed. I was really pissed. But in a way, it is kind of nice to know that he cared enough to, you know, in such a trivial thing, to just stop everything and, you know, kind of make it a priority. You know what I mean? And he does do that. He does do that. It's not like it's the first time, but I really felt like, I feel like shit, because I was like, God damn, something so, and I knew it, like, it's like I said, I knew that doing that was bad, like, you know what I mean, like, I didn't want to do that when his mom's in the hospital in the same shape she was in. I was like, oh God, I don't want to be that person, you know what I mean, but I was like, you know, we're supposed to be a team, I should know what you're doing, you should know what I'm doing, but of course there's that thing. And then he's like, but you won't even get rid of somebody's phone number, and I couldn't explain.